we're trained to believe, don't care what people think, just, focus on you. But I think we're wired for connection and to care. It's okay to care. I think it just depends. It depends what you do with that and how you process it. But I think it's naive to say don't care, because how would we survive? It's not part of our survival.
Yeah, I've
So-
struggled with that a lot. Like I've had a lot of people give me that advice too. Like just
Yeah.
worry about your own competitions in the mirror.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. And I'm like I thrive off that,
Yeah.
and that's why I think it's important for me to be around like people that challenge me because or people that are better than me, because then I actually rise up to that. Because I've tried let's just be a better Brock, and and for me that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and it may not be the healthiest motivation, but like for example, when Mum passed away, I had the most motivational years of my life because I was like, I'm gonna do you proud, and I still have that fire inside me, but I guess it's not as strong because 12 years have passed. But when that happened, I was doing anything and everything, staying up late, waking up early, not sleeping, doing all that, and maybe it's not the smartest way to go about it, but that motivation is what drove me. And then it's the same thing as in when I was a personal trainer, I would compare myself to other trainers in the room and say, how busy are they? How good are they? How can I be better? So I think it can be healthy. I guess it just depends how you do it. I think it's not wise to do it to people that are on a different level to you. Like if they're in chapter 80 of their life and you're in chapter 30, and they have a house and 3 cars and this life that you adore and they travel, and then you're this student that has no money and you're like, man, I'm a failure, but they were like that when they were your age. So I think that's when it gets dangerous, like comparison and things like that.
I also think social media is incredible, and also it's such a slippery slope when it comes to comparison, because we all post mainly, what I'd like to say generally, our best moments or highlights.
Yeah.
And we know that logically, but we still, it's hard not to look visually. We're wired visually as men, particularly. If you can look at something, your brain just automatically goes to comparison. So I get what you're saying about chapter 80 and chapter 30. I wonder if that would be different without social media and you're just meeting people and realizing that and having a conversation. Whereas looking, I've got 10 Bentleys behind me and I grind, you sleep, you sleep, I grind, all all that bullshit. So I think realizing that perception is very, very, very powerful, and don't underestimate what you're looking at. Even with who I follow, I had to unfollow a lot of people not because they're bad people, but because you got to know your weaknesses. And if it's hard to look at that, if it's going to send you down a spiral of comparison, just don't look at it. Or for me, for example, I try not to schedule time on social media, almost like with my fasting. So I have a window, jump in, do the work, get out, because if I start doom scrolling, man, then I get into my head, well, they got better abs, or they're more successful with the acting roles, or they can sing better. It's it's not, it's silly.